Hello, first grade. We're going to go ahead and practice our phonogram rules. So this is for list H2, and go ahead and follow along with me so you get to learn what all these rules. I bet some of these you're starting to get to know pretty well, huh? All right. G says J because E, I before E, I, and Y. A, E, O, U usually says A, E, O, U at the end of the syllable. Now we're ready for our silent final E rules. A vowel sound changes because of the E. A changes to an A. E, I, O, U. Alright, our second rule is English words do not end in V or U. So they need an E at the end. C says S and G says J because of the E. That E does a lot of work, doesn't it? That silent final E. Alright, and this next one is every syllable must have a vowel. So if this syllable doesn't have a vowel, like little, it needs a silent final E. Alright, this one, remember, this one's the oddball E. It says a silent final E that does any odd job not covered by the other four. Abbreviations. Abbreviations uses a few letters to represent a long word. Contractions. Contractions replace a letter or letters with an apostrophe. To contract or shorten a longer word or phrase. So for maybe I am, we'll say, instead of I am, we'll take away the A and say I'm. It's a lot shorter, isn't it? We'll learn more about that later. We often double F, L, and S after a single vowel at the end of the base word. We occasionally double other letters in this way. AY usually says AY usually says A at the end of the base word. When a word ends with A, the third sound in ah, it normally says ah. All right. This one's a scary one. Look at this. It's a little bit different. All right, but once we get to know it, get to look at it a little bit closer, it won't be so confusing. So the rule is to make a word plural, just add an S, unless the word hisses. And the words that hisses at the end. And the sounds at the end that cannot be there is ch, sh, x, z, z. Do you hear how that's hisses? So with those words, you can't just add an S. Or if it hisses or changes, so wife becomes, wife becomes wives with a V sound, and fly becomes flies. Or may end with an O, like tomato. In these cases, add an ES. Whew, that was a lot. And occasionally words have no change at all. Like sheep. You don't say sheeps, do you? You just say sheep. All right, I'm going to read through that one more time because that was a long rule. But once you get that down, it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, to make a word plural, just add S, unless the word hisses, changes, or may end in an O. In these cases, add an ES. Occasional words have no changes in internal change or a foreign spelling. Wow, we won't worry about that because that doesn't happen very often, except for sheep. All right, and our last rule is this one. It's rule that says ed past tense ending forms another syllable if the base word ends with a D or a T. If not, ed sounds like either a D or a T. All right, and we'll review those later a little bit more. All right, go ahead and listen to this about maybe 2 or 3 times this week to kind of get it down and start to really lock in those rules, because those rules will help you learn how to spell hard words. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Bye.